Hey everyone, I'm Julia Miazen, a designer on the editor team, and today I'm going to tell you about remote development, what it is, why it's important, and what our steps are. But this is my first showcase, so I'm really nervous, and I would really appreciate if you could give me some Zoom reactions to support me. So I began working on remote development in January, so I don't know much yet, and I'm still learning new things. And this is the brand new feature for GitLab, so the entire team is currently learning as well. And everything that I'll show you here today is actually a work in progress. So imagine that you're a developer. You create some interfaces. For example, you're a front-end developer. Your stack is React, Node.js, and for example, PostCSS or something else. You can do your work in our web IDE because you need to build your project to see changes, run tests, and download dependencies. And you have to manage your local environment. And you all know how hard it is, especially with GDK, and Web IDE doesn't allow you to do so, and you have to use your local VS Code or other local IDE. It's a problem because you need a good laptop. You can share your work in case of emergencies. You have a longer onboarding period, and of course, security problems. That's why some companies work remotely. They have their own servers where all work is going. And developers have to just connect their local IDs with these servers, which is kind of cool, but not enough. You still need your local IDE and your machine. Our competitors created their own solutions where you need no local IDE. You can work in browser like Gitport. I guess everyone tried it at least at once. And oh, I'm sorry. But we don't have any our own environments, our cloud environments. But it's not a blocker to try out to build something like this. And when I joined the team, we've already been working on a UI-less proof of concept for self-managed infrastructure. And in January, I started learning about this feature. I didn't know where to start because it's really big thing. So I read everything that my teammates wrote in issues, Slack channels, all the discussions, merge requests, some handbook pages. I watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and I tried to use our competitors. So I built kind of picture in my head. There were a lot of blank zones, but still it was something. And it's still not enough to create designs and workflows. And I suggested create a user story map for remote development. And I posted a video on our YouTube channel about this. So if you are interested in this, I placed a link in the agenda. So long story short, after this first iteration of user story mapping, we discovered that we have a lot of blind spots, and we had a few meetings after this, one for every team member. It was something like an interview with brainstorming and something like this. And I asked about their vision of the future, their understanding of the first release, their understanding of the current architecture and the future architecture. Sorry. I asked some rhetorical questions like, what if user would like to do this, or this? And during these meetings, I've updated this UI schema for user workflows. And in the end of these activities, I had an ideal schema for our self-managed remote development. It was a little win for me because it's something like when you collected all the puzzles together and you see the whole picture of your future product. Next, based on this schema, I updated the user story map and I highlighted the first version. I approved it with the team and started doing designs. As we have developed a feature for self-managed environments, we cannot rely on competitors because they have their own environments. So I created two user flows for developers and for maintainers or administrators. Developers have two jobs: start working on some project and resume working on previous project. So let's go through these workflows. I, as a developer, go to GitLab. I go to my current project. I open edit popover, which is new here, and I choose a workspace to start. And I just click on this and I can start working. I can use terminal commands and do my job. For different situations, there are few different popovers. Like if this project is not a premium because it's a premium feature, we can't show anything about workspaces. If this project doesn't have any agents, so we can't connect to our remote environment and we have to configure it. So we need a message for this. If this is my first workspace and I don't know what is this, and if this is my another workspace. So I don't need any messages here. As a developer, I started work in the morning. I went to GitLab and I want to resume my work. So I open workspaces page and just click on one of the workspaces and start working. And here we have a few options, like start working, like pause your workspace and delete your workspace. We need all of these because environments are not cheap. They are not cheap at all. And users can resume work on the workspace without actually working there, because, for example, they could use it for preview their work. You can start working here, like in Gitpod, for example, and you can share this preview link with your teammates, with your manager or somebody else, and your workspace just stopped working and you want to resume work to show your preview to your team members. So we added also a new item to navigation bar. It will be available only for premium users and for the first version behind the feature flag. I did a solution validation for this entry point, and users expected to find it in the navigation bar, in the project, or in this plus button in the header that we have in the global navigation tool. So I guess we placed all the entry points right. And for administrators, there are another path, and they could go to the settings, organization settings, and they could find a new item like workspaces, and there they could set it up. There are a list of projects because admins could set up a custom agent for some specific projects and a list of workspaces to manage them. And this is our first version for 16.0, and first release will be available internally and tested with our customers who asked for a beta test. We'll receive some feedback. We'll fix this. We want to add some tutorials and onboardings in our plans, add a visual editor for dev files. It's a files where you can configure your workspaces, like choose some editors and other stuff. And of course, we want to add GitLab managed environments. That's everything that I wanted to share with you today, because it's kind of a work in progress, and I'm planning to share some insights and ideas in our UX co-working channel after 16.0. So stay tuned and thank you for attention.
All right. Thank you, Julia. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything they'd like to voice? See some cursors in the questions area. If not, okay.